when we were working on rolling through the spine, there's a lot of work tucking the pelvis back, going into that posterior pelvic tilt so that you can articulate as you roll down. But we want to spend just as much time working on our anterior pelvic tilt because we want that balance of being able to move the pelvis both ways, having good control in the abdominal muscles and the back muscles to create whatever shape or movement we're asking of the pelvis. And a lot of yoga teachers are trying to move away from that constant posterior pelvic tilt. I tend to be a little bit more from the school of balancing and doing both. I don't think either one of them is wrong, but it's nice to look at some different ways that we can use the wall to feel the anterior pelvic tilt. It's a great way to strengthen the lower back muscles too. So I'm going to put my feet a little bit farther away from the wall than usual. My glutes are resting onto the wall and I'm just leaning forward slightly so my shoulders are spaced out. And I'm going to start to feel like I'm lifting the sitting bones up onto the wall. Like I want to sit onto the wall, and then I immediately start to feel that as effort in my lower back. And then I'm going to draw my shoulders back to emphasize that slight back bend, and then pull away from the wall. There's space in the front of the body. I'm going to straighten up, tuck the tailbone back, see how far I can get into that posterior pelvic tilt, hollowing out the low belly, tailbone drops, pubic bone lifts, and then I'm going to go the opposite way. Pubic bone drops, tailbone lifts. Effort in the low back, right there. One of the shapes that you'll see in your yoga practice, if you do the vinyasa that uses the knees, chest, and chin movement, or sometimes I'll call it the inchworm movement, there's a pretty strong anterior pelvic tilt, low back arch when you're doing that pose. So we're going to do a version of that at the wall, where we bend and touch the knees, touch the chest, and touch the chin, lifting the tailbone, and then straightening up. This is a great way to practice the position, again, without having full weight. If you want to try to work this into your vinyasa. And then to counterbalance that, I'm going to sweep the arms down, start to tuck my tailbone down, press the pubic bone into the wall, and then create a little bit of a back bend there. But I'm really focusing on squeezing my glutes. That helps when you go into posterior pelvic tilt. And then I'll add a little yoga mudra. Okay, so being able to control anterior and posterior pelvic tilt are both important parts of our practice. We want to make sure that we have freedom of movement, freedom of control between those two positions so that we can use them based on whatever pose we're in or whatever we're trying to get out of that pose.